When I was 15 in high school, my business education teacher asked the class what they wanted to do when they grew up. Now, my answer, she was not happy with at all, because I told her I want to retire. She's like, oh, no. Like, what do you want to do? It was like, I want to retire. That's what I want to do. The people who are retired, they're the ones having the most fun. They can do whatever the hell they want to do, whenever they want to do it. I want that. So I still want that. And so I've spent my life designing a lifestyle that I want, something that allows me to live like that, live a retired lifestyle, or whatever that looks like. For me, it's got a lot more flexibility in it. And you've got to remember that retirement is only good if you've got enough money to fund the fun stuff that you want to do along the way. But look, a design is only part of the equation. You can't get to your ideal lifestyle just by designing it. There is a whole lot more work involved. So here's how you get to that life you love. You start with the design. You start with the end in mind. Where do you want to live? Who do you want to be with? What do you want to be doing? When do you want to do it? Why is that important to you? You need to know these things in order to be able to figure that out. Like, if you're living in a country town and you want to live by the beach, then you probably should figure out how you can move to the beach. Now, there might be 17 different steps in between you getting from here to here, but it certainly happens. I know that I had a dream of moving to the beach. I lived about 40 minutes drive from the beach when I was younger. Would drive there on a regular basis. And it took me a while, but I figured out it was actually cheaper for me to live by the beach than it was to keep driving there to and from all the time, because of the time and the money that it took to get there. So it took a while, but I've lived by the beach. And I've lived by the beach for the last 20 plus years. And it is so worth it. That's the lifestyle that I want. And because I chose it and then I found a solution to try and make it work, I was able to get that work. So something else that comes into the design step is you're going to need time, energy, and money for all of the needs and wants that you have. So you're going to have to figure those things out. So when you sit down to design this ideal lifestyle, it's like, what time do you need? What do you want to do? And how are you going to make that work? All right. Do you need time for extra activities? How much time does that leave you to be able to work? And, money's got to come into it. So can you earn enough money during the time that you have allocated for work in order to be able to get what you want? Do you have enough energy to do all the things you want to do? Do you have enough energy to go to work and do your adulting, which may include parenting, and still have some energy left over for the fun stuff that you want to do in your life? Because if not, then you need to go back a few steps and try and figure that out as well. So time, energy, and money, absolutely critical in this process. They're the three big elements, and there are smaller elements that come into it. But at the end of the day, if you can design things around those three main categories, then you'll find that the other stuff that comes up, and that could include like motivation, discipline, decision making, confidence, they're all skills that you can work on, and they will contribute to the lifestyle you love, but they are still elements of practicality and playing it out, I guess. So design what you want first. Then you've got to figure out how you can build it. So you're going to take the information that you've figured out in that plan, and then you're going to have to go, all right, well, how do I make this work? I've got this idea of where I want to be, who I want to be with. Break it down into the little steps for you to get from point A to point Z, if that's what it needs to be. There is going to be a lot of steps along the way. Maybe there is only going to be 2 or 3, and if you're lucky, that's great. But a lot of the time, there's a lot of hurdles that are going to come up, and you're going to have to work through them. And a lot of the time, it can be really disillusioning when you know that that goal seems so far away. And at the same time, if you take one step and then take another step and take another step, you are continuously getting closer and closer to that goal. Now, occasionally, the goals will change a little bit, and that's fine. But you won't know until you start to build this all together. You build out a plan, you start working on the step-by-step part, and okay, yep, cool, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. And that's great. So once you have done that building phase, you've started to put your plan together, you kind of know where you're going and what you've got to do. Now it's time to live it. So start implementing that plan. Put it into your life right now. So you've got to take action. And it's taking massive action a lot of the time. It's not just a small thing. If you want to take a small thing, that's great. But if you want to take a big step, then you're going to get a big result out of it. And it could take a whole lot of confidence and stepping out of your comfort zone. It might take a whole lot of money. Might take a whole lot of commitment. And it might go wrong, because that is part of it. You're going to have to go back and try, test, tweak, and try again at different times, because sometimes you take a step forward and then you take a step back. Sometimes you take 2 steps back. But if that's what it takes to be able to go, all right, that way didn't work, or it isn't the right way for me, I'm just going to adjust a little bit, head over that way. Let me see if that's going to work, because that's how it works. That's how the thing works. Like, if you're going to start living your life in the way that you want to, you're going to try stuff that's not always going to happen. But step by step, little bit by little bit, you start to get a little bit more of that good stuff in your life, a little bit more of what you want, a little bit more of the lifestyle, a little bit more of the time freedom, a little bit more of the flexibility, maybe a little bit more of the money, could be a little bit more of the energy, could be just a little bit more of the excitement for life. And that's cool. Like, it takes a lot of work. We map this out in my 28-day coaching program. It's totally free, and you'll find it on the link below. We'll go into it a bit more in a bit, but think about this. Your ideal lifestyle, it is a byproduct of all the individual elements of your life. You've got to begin with the end in mind. You've got to know where the goal is, and then decide what you want to take massive action to get there. All right? When you get there, you then have to ask, is this really what I want? Because sometimes dreams are going to change. And sometimes that dream, you achieve it, and it's like, oh, now what? Oh, was it actually the goal that was what I wanted in the first place? Or was I actually just wanting the adventure that came along with it? So there is lots that comes along, because as you evolve as a human, as you grow and learn about who you are and what you want, your goals change, your needs and your wants, they change, the people in your life change. A lot of things can change, and that is fine. Remember, it is your life. Live it your way. If you do that, then you are more likely to get what you want out of it. There are plenty of people out there living life that are completely different, and everyone looks at him as a weirdo. I was reading this morning about one guy who decided he was having a drink with his mates, and they were talking about, surely it would be impossible for you to be able to walk, the longest route from where we are now back to home. And that was something like from Finland back to England or something. And he's 27 years into this crazy ass challenge. 27 years of an idea of just having a drink with his mates, and someone saying, how about this? Like, that's what if you did that? And he decided that's what he wanted to do. He committed, and he is just about done. That is unbelievable. That is a life that he chose for himself. He's living that on purpose. He could walk away at any time, but he's not. That's the life that he wants. That's the life that he loves. He designed it, and now he's out living it. Has it been smooth sailing? No. But I guarantee your life hasn't been smooth sailing either. Who's to say he is more happy than you are? Don't know. But he could be. At least he's going for it. I hope this inspires you to go for it. If you want a bit more inspiration, go check out my 28-day coaching program. Totally free. Click on the link below. I'll see you on the inside.